Hi guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I've got this gorgeous collage masterboard here and I thought let's use this to make some background pages and things for junk journals. So what I'm going to do, as you can see, it's a whole page collage masterboard and it was using thicker paper. So this was kind of 230 GSM. So in places it's quite thick because it's got several layers of paper. In other places it's just like one layer thick. So it's of varying thicknesses. So what I want to do is basically take this and form pages out of it. Now, I'm just wondering, do I want to do this upside down where I'm doing it blind? Oh, that seems very scary because obviously there is a tendency to want to now hoard this because I really like how it's turned out. So if I turn it over, I'm like, oh gosh, I'm just trusting it to just turn out okay. Oh, do you know, let's just be brave. So I'm going to turn it over. Hope that I don't regret this. Right, okay, so what I've got some fly sheets from books and other sheets that, you know, I'm not necessarily that keen on the pictures. And I'm going to just take these and pop them on here to cover up. And then what we can do is cut pages down. So I'm just having a look to see how I can kind of get the most from this. So if I bring in, I've brought along like a template. So this is like an A4 size. So I can just gauge like what I would get from that. So that technically I could get 2 pages. They're going to be slightly narrower, but I think that would be okay. Yeah, let's just have a look. Yeah, so I might be governed by the size of the pages, I suppose. So perhaps what I could do is put it more like this and then that one at the edge. And that way I'm actually getting, you know, quite a few good sized bits, I think. So yeah, let's do that, shall we? Oh, I do feel nervous. So, right, let's pop this down. So I'm just going to literally glue these down. Oops. Oh look, I've used double-sided. Wow, I don't very often use double-sided on something that's then going to be covered up. So that's like shocking in the first place, to be honest. But yeah, obviously I hadn't noticed. Right, so going to just glue this down. So this one is slightly, you know, it's going to be slightly less than A4. Well, A5, I guess, because obviously they're like folded in half. But yeah, it's going to be less than that. But I'm just, like I say, being governed by the book page size. So I just wanted to get some plain sides on them. Okay. Like that. Okie dokie. Pop that down. Okay, yeah, let's do that. So I'm just going to take my glue spreader, spread the glue out. Okay, so that's giving me a really nice coloured page, isn't it? With that really nice kind of, I don't know what colour you would call this, but you know when the book page really quite ages, you know, quite a bit. It's like that. I am just wondering whether I would prefer to have this with a bit of text on it. I mean, it probably doesn't really matter because, to be honest, it would probably be, you know, covered up anyway. But yeah, what do we think? And obviously this one is going to be plain, so should we just do it like that? Yeah, let's not use, oh, but then I think that's a bit of a waste. I like to keep these for, you know, backing tags and things like that, so that does feel like a bit of a waste. So I don't think I can bring myself to do that. Let me see what else I've got laying about here that I could use. So I've got some sheet music. We should just use sheet music. I mean, I feel like that's quite full on, but do you know, I'm not actually sure whether I've ever used sheet music as a page base before. I mean, it feels quite, ooh, quite in your face, doesn't it? But I think that might be quite nice, you know. Should we try it? Give it a try, shall we? I mean, hey, we can always cover it up. If we don't like it, we can just cover it, can't we? So, yeah. Right, now, going to obviously go all over this. Obviously, this is going to be cut down, so I need to be careful how I glue this to make sure it's got plenty of glue. Otherwise, when I cut it down, it's not going to be, you know, stuck down to the edges. So let's just take that. Plenty of glue like that. Also, sometimes sheet music's quite flimsy, I find. You know, the vintage sheet music, which this is, can be a little bit flimsy and therefore can easily tear. So, you know, the more glue, the better, really. Okay. Like that. Okay. Oops. Right, I'm hoping that I've got enough glue on here. So let's turn that over. Just place that down like that. Okay, and yep, just get my glue spreader. And then from the little pieces that I've got left, I can obviously make different things out of those, maybe some pockets or something like that. So I won't be wasting, you know, this side and this side. I will do something with them, but obviously just not making pages. But yeah, we won't waste them, definitely. I mean, if they're really tiny, I suppose, then maybe I would. But if they're not really that tiny, then I won't. So this one I'm actually thinking I might do up here. Yeah, because there seems a lot more stuff going on up here. I'm now thinking, do I want to have the plain on this one? I've had a complete kind of change around now. Thinking, oh, do I want to have plain? I don't know whether I do. Let me just quickly have a look. Hold on. Okay, so I've got some more sheet music. It's from a different sheet, you know, a different book of sheet music, but that's fine. So I'm just going to take that in half. Okey-dokey, tear that down. Like that, just so it's a bit more sizable. And then, yeah, we can pop that onto there. Okay, right. So do we think that there's a nicer side and a... actually, I think probably I quite like that with the... I mean, the chances are, like I say, after we've actually done this, it probably won't even be visible, you know, any of those little bits, to be honest. So it's probably irrelevant, but... Right, I'm not going to go right to the edge because I've got a feeling this might be wider than that. Might be wrong. But what I'll do, I'll just glue all over here. And then I'll glue all over this edge. So that I've got the glue right up to the edge as much as possible. Okay, like that. And then just take that in like that. Okay, right. Oops. Let's make sure it's spread out. Okay, right. The moment of truth now. So I'm not going to even turn it over. I'm just going to be really brave and cut into it now. Well, there's no point turning it over because I've glued the stuff all down now. So, you know, hey, if I don't like where I've put the pieces, it's too late anyway. So I'm just going to cut straight in. So, yeah, let's be brave. Like that. Okay, might as well cut that straight up to the end. And we'll just take that one down. Okay. My goodness, don't you love that? I love, love, love how that looks. Right, okay, so this we can just make a little tiny pocket from or something. You know, it's quite nice. I like the combination of the papers as it happens. It's, yeah, quite happy with that. Even though we cut that blind, I'm quite happy. Oh, I hope I like this bit. Yeah, I feel a bit nervous for this middle one. Now, what I might do is try and... Right, I'm going to cut straight along down there, I think. Oh, I've had to cheat now and turn over a little bit. Yeah, okay. Because I'm thinking there's not much going on here, so I want to leave a little bit there. Okay, right, let's cut it out against here. Okay, getting that way across. I mean, again, it doesn't really matter if I'm not that straight, to be honest. It's not the end of the world. I can always, you know, tidy it up afterwards. I mean, I can see straight away I've gone very wonky there, so yeah, that needs a bit of tidying up. Okay. There we go. Okay, for the moments of truth, shall we turn it over and see? Oh, again, very nice. Very happy with how that looks. Very different to our first page, but very nice. Okay, now this one I'm going to just cheat again and turn it over. Right, okay, so I'm thinking over this side. Yeah, so I'm going to take this edge off. Like that. Turn that over. Okay, just trim that down, try and get it a bit straighter. Oh my goodness. Don't know about getting it a bit straighter. I think I'm making it worse, if anything. Oh, this one's also not very straight. So we'll just tidy that up. Okay. So, yeah, love that. Okay, last one now. So the last one is, of course, this one, which... I mean, to be honest, we could now probably... Oh, no. I'm going to take it like that. Right, so... Going to take it up there and... Oh, so that's not quite stuck down. There we go. Yeah, I mean, obviously in an ideal world, I would have left it to stick down a little bit longer, but anyway, it's fine. Take that there. Just see the bit we've got left. So the bit we've got left is no great shakes, really. It's just got, you know, 2 different papers on there. So, you know, nothing very spectacular, really. But hey, perfectly nice, to be honest. I can still definitely, you know, work with that and do something with that to create some ephemera. So this one, just going to take it down on this edge. Do I want to take it? Oh. Ooh, I don't know now. Because on the back, we've got this line with a little white space on the top, which actually is only single thickness as well. So do I want to come over this side? Oh, I think I'm going to have to. So let's just trim this down on the edge. Okay. Let's just trim it up here because it's a little bit of a rough edge where I cut it. Oh my goodness, not straight again. And then, yeah, take it in here like that, and we'll just trim it down here. So I have got a little bit of that paper still on here. Like that, just a slither, but that's fine. I don't mind that. So let's have a look at our 4 pages that we've cut out of that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So really pretty, aren't they? And to be honest, look quite kind of different, don't they? You know, although they're all kind of similar colours, they've got some different looks. Now I'm wondering, okay, so we've got all of these. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to make a ring bound journal, and I'm going to make it from, you know, our Mojo series that we did where we made all the blank pages. So I've pulled out a bunch of the pages that we made. I've got loads here. So let's have a look and see whether any of these, I'm just looking through to see if any are like an obvious choice. That one's not bad. Maybe not. I thought let's have a look and see whether any of these pages are like an obvious choice and go quite nicely with any of these background blanks, and then we can start to form a journal from these. So I'm going to put them sort of up here, those have got room, so I'm just going to kind of like pull them in and we'll just put them beside. So not loving that one, if I'm truthful. No, that one definitely no. Probably not, if I'm honest. Well, this is where I find that I have none that are going to match. I don't mind that. Let's keep that as a possible. Definitely not that. We've got lots of purple on there. Probably not. Definitely not to the pink. I mean, I did try and pull in colours that I thought would possibly go. That's not too bad, although, you see, I think when we did the series, I tentatively kind of put those together, thinking, oh, they'd be perfect in the same journal, you know, got the same colours. But isn't it weird? Because this one I wouldn't say really goes with these. This one I would say. So, yeah, kind of not sure whether I want to put those. Let's just put that to one side for a minute. Oh, definitely not that one. Not sure. I mean, I've poured in some more blue type ones here, which I thought would be better. Oh, now, let's just see. Oh, I remember making this one in the series and I loved how it looked so much. I mean, because don't forget, we've got the sheet music sides as well. So, yeah, put that there for a minute with the maybe that. Probably not to that. This one. No, probably not. Oh gosh, I'm not doing very well here at all, am I? Oh, I put that there tentatively with that. Yeah, I'm not doing very well here, so I've not obviously planned this. Not planned this very well. Oh dear. This is just going to be one of those epic fail kind of videos where, yeah, I'm embarrassed and think, oh, I wish I'd never done. This looks a lovely match. So, yeah, maybe this one. Let's put that to the side. Here we go. We're coming on to, yeah, my last ones happen to be the blue ones that I pulled in, so they're looking good. Oh, definitely not those. No, definitely not those. Okay, put that back. This one. Potentially. Right. So these were the ones I'd grouped together, I think, at the end of the series, these three. Well, I think these three actually look pretty good with these collage masterboards. Yeah, I think they're quite nice. Coordinate sort of. Yeah, I think that's going to make a nice journal. Okay, so let's have these. So I've just decorated the one side up so far. So let's just take, for example, this page. I'll just put these ones out the way. So let's say we're going to be making a double page spread with this, I think. So just need to tidy this up a little bit more at the bottom. That's very, very raggedy. Just check that's the same size-ish. Yep, not too bad. Okay. And then, yeah, of course, the other side is the sheet music, which actually this works quite well because, yeah, am I thinking that I would have this side as the punched edge? I think so. And then this side I would probably want as the punched edge as well. See where we've got that bit there, I think. So, yeah, that's going to work out well. Right, let me grab in some ready-made ephemera that might be kind of similar colour. So, hold on. Okay, so I've got a whole bunch here of ready-made ephemera. So I'm just going to put it in my lap and we can then just put them onto the page kind of one at a time. Okay, well that's not bad, to be honest. Yeah, I don't mind that. So let's put that to one side. Again, not bad, quite good colour match. So that can go one side. probably not to that one. Oh, it's all deteriorating now. Maybe not necessarily on this page, but maybe on another page. Right. Okay. Again, might keep that and check it in, you know, with the other pages that we're going to do. So that's quite good. That one. No. No. Looks good on this page, to be honest, because this has got lots of browns that are picking up this, but not great opposite there. So yeah, that's a no probably to that one. I'm going to have to put these in the maybe piles. Okay. That one. I do like it on there, but again, I'm not sure it went brilliantly with the other page. This one. Right, I'll just keep that as a potential. And don't forget, you know, we have got those sheet music sides as well. So, I mean, I am keeping a weird selection, and you're possibly thinking, oh my goodness, what's she thinking, keeping some of those? But I'm just kind of like picturing the whole journal kind of together at the end. I think some of them actually might go better than we imagine. Or I might fail miserably, and then it will just all be a big epic fail. Yeah. Okay. Nope. Let me know, by the way, in the comments below, are there some of these like that I've picked out here and put them in the no pile that you would have said yes to? Let me know which ones, because I think it's always quite handy to know where I've gone wrong, as far as you guys are concerned, because for future reference then maybe I will pick better choices going forward. Okay. Well, I think we've got quite a few good choices anyway here, to be honest. So it's just, yep. Oh, that's quite nice. Okay. Oh, that's also quite nice. Right, let me move these ones out the way. Right. So I'm just going to bring in those other pages for a minute. So if we put that there, and then just put these ones down. I just want to get a bit of a feel for the whole journal, really. So yeah, let's put down, say, this one. Don't think it matters. Oh, oop. Look, that's what I was talking about with the glue. Big gaping gap there where I hadn't gone right up to the edge, obviously. So, oh dear, it's right the way along. Okay. I mean, I could stitch around the edges as well. Hopefully the glue is going to just squish them in, and that's not going to be necessary, but let me just check that it's snug on the other edges. Yeah, I think so. Right, okay. So we just put these down like this, and yeah, kind of have a look and see. I've got 2 more pages here, but I'm running out of room on the desk. Oh, let me just squish this one in. So this one might be a bit off camera. And then we've got this one as well. In fact, if I move these, I could probably put it there. Yeah. Okay, right. So these are our pages that are decorated. These are our undecorated ones. So let's kind of go through and get a bit of a feel for, I mean, that I think looks quite good. Ties in quite well. This one I also think looks quite good. Ties in quite well. Not sure about that one, because the other pages have all got some pink on, strangely, haven't they? Got a button card, which we could just have that clipped on somewhere in here. It would look quite good in here, wouldn't it? This, well, I don't mind that, funny enough. This one probably not, because actually when you look, this hasn't got any pink on it. It's just brown. So yeah, get rid of that one. The bird. mean, because don't forget, I'm going to also have the reverse side with the sheet music. So I'm going to put these two out the way completely. Put that in the maybe pile. So again, this has got no pink at all. But I'm thinking if we put this on like the sheet music side, we could maybe have some pink papers in the background. So I'm not going to write it off quite yet. Got this one. It would sort of depend where this was on the page, I think. So again, going to just put these in the, you know, potential. That one. Now I've got it all laid out, I'm thinking no, because obviously that's not really got any pink going on. But perfect. Absolutely really lovely on there. You know, or any one of them looks really a good match, doesn't it? So definitely probably a no to that now. Probably a no to that. I mean, it's really good, isn't it, to be able to put them out like this, because you can straight away get quite a good feel for, you know, what's kind of like coordinating and what's not. So again, that one, it hasn't got any pink, but I'm thinking could bring some pinks in with maybe like, I don't know, a bow or something else, you know, tied in somewhere. So yeah, quite like all of those. I'm going to quickly flip them over and we'll just see what they're going to look like on the other sides. So like this, for example, with the sheet music, if we had, for example, this, and yeah, I mean, we could quite easily tie it in with some sort of decorative papers similar to this, and I think then, you know, it would work quite well. Let's just have a look at like this one. Yeah, again, I think we could make that work together. So yeah, I think we've got some good selections here. So which page shall we work on? If we have this one, oh well, let's do this top one. Now got to just decide now which of these pieces do we want on this particular page. So I have to say, I do quite like this. Looks very nice next to here. Let me just check against the others that I also have. I mean, I do like that. The only thing is we are covering up all of that green, which feels a little bit of a shame to do that. That being said, I think that's quite nice. Let me just see how it would look against, you know, different pages. Try a couple of others. See, this one, every time I put this anywhere, I'm like, oh, this is gorgeous. So yeah, perhaps we'll go for this one. Right, okay. So let's move these out the way. Put them there. Okay, I can just move the other pages out the way really, because otherwise I've got too much stuff going on the desk now. Oh, I also have that paper bag, which we forgot then to try, but we could always try that on another one. So yeah, quite like these two. Now, obviously want to probably ink it up, because this one's quite inked. So just going to go around the edges with some ink. And then what I'll do, I will ink up the other side, you know, just like we did in the series, just because, and I did say this in the series, once it gets lumpy bumpy things on this side, it's just going to be harder to actually ink this up, you know, because it's not going to be laying flat. So we'll just then ink it up there. Okay. Okay, looking good. So yeah, love how this looks. It's so pretty, isn't it? And then I'm thinking some pink lace somewhere, which, yeah, I found this yesterday. It's kind of like hidden in my stash. So I didn't feel like I'd even seen this lace before, funny enough. Hidden treasure, because I really love it. It's very, very pretty, isn't it? So could have it going along the edge, or we could have a bit sort of coming out at the bottom. Let me just try that. So I'm just going to cut a little bit. Oh, could have done with some better scissors. Oh, that's okay. If I just use this edge rather than going too far into the scissors, then they're okay. And actually, I've just got this bit of blue here from, I think, from that folio that we just finished. So we could even have a bit of blue somewhere. Yeah, what do we think to that? It's quite nice, isn't it? And then I wonder if we could have like a pink butterfly or something on here to really tie the pages in. Or maybe a pink flower or something. Probably not this colour, but yeah, if I have a different one. Or actually, maybe some pink sari silk. Now, I'm down to just dregs of my pink sari silk. I don't have much left. And unfortunately, what I do have is very thin. It's very narrow. Oh, that one might be folded. There we go. Oops. Well, what we could do is just have a ruffle of that up the top, actually. Right, okay, so I'm going to just pop this down here. I mean, obviously these collage pages, I don't really feel like they need anything much going on the, you know, background, like putting on top of them, because there are obviously lots of pattern going on there anyway. I actually feel like I would ruin them by having, you know, a glut of sort of pattern going on. It's better to sort of keep it a little bit more neutral. Well, not neutral, but, you know, just the collage. I think if I start adding other things, I might make it even more chaotic. So yeah, I think we'll do it like that. And I don't know whether I even want to have it right the way across or just a little bit going there. So we'll just do maybe I will just glue this down as a belly band. Yeah, so I'm going to just put it top and bottom, so like that, and there. Okay, like that. Okie dokie. There we go. And then, yeah, we'll just put some sari silk, just ruffled, just a little bit at first. I'm going to try and then see how it looks, whether I want to add any more. Okay. But what a fun way to add some pages to your ring-bound junk journals, you know. And obviously working with our ready-made pages, it's quite a fun way to kind of like incorporate your other pages, isn't it? Because the collage, you know, as your base, that's quite good at being able to get other pages mixed in, isn't it? Just thinking, I'm just going to take it down here. Right, so I'm just going to just glue a little tiny bit more. Like that. Yeah, with the collage, you know, you're then picking up quite a lot of the colours that have already been used on the other pages. So it's kind of quite a good way to get your pieces working together, I think. So, yeah. Oh, I love that. What a gorgeous double page spread. Let me just see whether I've got any butterflies to cut out and put on there. Oh, do you know, I just say this so often, but I still need to print some more butterflies. I honestly don't think I've got any. Oh, that is so annoying. Okay, I'm just rummaging through. This is like my little fussy cut sort of bag. Not bag, but envelope pouch. And yeah, there's none in there at all. Oh, can't believe it. I'm literally out of butterflies. What were the odds of that? But I did spot this with just this pink label here. Okay. Like that. And obviously we talked about in the series, you know, the benefits of obviously having these little pages ready-made is because we are already, you know, having just put our collage base pages together and obviously pulled out like those 3, we've already got like 7 pages there straight away, which 7 pages is, you know, 14 sides. So, I mean, we're kind of like marching on already with like hardly any effort whatsoever, you know. So definitely, sorry, this is my labels set 1. Definitely it's quite a good way of obviously making your pieces fly together quite quickly. And we talked about as well in the series that, you know, another thing that you can do, we decorated quite sort of minimally in the series, is you can then bring your pieces together by way of extra embellishments. Like, I don't know, for example, you know, the bow here, you could put something blue extra on here, or like here where we've got some brown. I did just spot a brown label. Oops. We could incorporate a brown label on here, which sort of brings the brown more into that page, because so far that page perhaps is lacking in the brown, where this has got quite a big chunk of brown. So that's quite a good way to just kind of like tie the 2 sides together. So, you know, they're just little tricks, tips and tricks really, that I would say that you can do to get it all tying together quite nicely. So there, for example, we've just got that tiny bit of pink. It's just incorporating more pink. This, just quickly ink it up. Just check where I want it. So we have it there. Maybe there. I'm debating now. Do we have it down here or do we have it up there? Quite liked it there. The only thing is you can't really see it until you move the thing out of the pocket. Oh, that's fine there actually. It just literally fits on there. So yeah, I didn't think it was going to fit under that butterfly wing, but it just literally slides in. There we go. So that's perfect, because I didn't really want to cover up those pretty flowers. But yeah, putting it there. And then these obviously in that pocket. Okay, love how that looks. Do we want anything else on there? Maybe a little bit of bling along there. I mean, we have already got bling, but can never have too much, can you? So let's have another little bit there. Oops. Okay, like that. Just going to put a little bit of glue. There we go. Yeah, that looks very pretty, doesn't it? And then on this one, I'm thinking, I don't know actually. Maybe it's, yeah, maybe it's kind of like okay how it is. Just having a look to see what else I've got laying around. I've got obviously the odds and pieces, you know, that we've already used so far in this series. So just some little bits and bobs laying around. I would quite like to have something up here. I'm not quite sure. Not quite sure what. I mean, I could have taken that sari silk obviously right the way across, but I felt like it was getting a bit too much sari silk on there at that point, because we had sari silk here. Just felt like, oh, there's a lot of sari silk. Oh, what about that? Little bit of lace there. Although then it feels like it's detracting from, you know, moving away from what this side is looking like. I wonder if we should have that quite big coming down there. Weirdly, I quite like this coffee dyed piece. Oops. Let's take that down. Yeah, I mean, I think that's quite pretty, to be honest. Yeah, I think that looks quite nice. So we'll just pop that down just with the wet glue. Oops. Oh, let me just pop a little bit of glue there. Do we want this on here? I mean, I guess it does kind of tie the two sides in quite nicely, doesn't it? So, yeah. Okay. Like that. Yeah, that looks very pretty, doesn't it? So, okay, right. So that's those 2 pages. So turning it over, let's tackle this, which is, of course, the trickier side because we've got the sheet music. So it's not going to go opposite one of these, but I'm going to just put this here. Well, it could go opposite the back, I guess, because, yeah, I'm thinking punch this on those 2 sides. So it could, yeah, it could go on the back. So let's just kind of do this as a double page spread. So obviously we've got our inspiration, you know, colour wise from the other pages. So just going to put that there. Let's just pick in my pockets that we put to one side. So, I mean, that's rather pretty straight away. Oh no, we're covering up a lot of that lovely sheet music with that. So yeah, probably not. That one, I don't like the fact that they're 2 diagonal pockets. They're, yeah, not a great look. Having 2 diagonals, I think. Maybe this one. Yeah, that's quite pretty. Plus it's quite good because we've got the sheet music, which sort of echoes the other sheet music, doesn't it? So let me just bring in a little bit of scrap here. Well, it's not scrap, but it's got some stuff on the back. So from that point of view, it's kind of scrap. So let me just take this down. Better this side because, of course, I've got that edge part that I'm wanting to cover up a bit. That's quite nice. And then I wonder whether I could fill it in with there. Not there. Yeah, that's quite pretty, isn't it? Let me just check whether I want to have that over or under. Probably doesn't really matter, but actually I think over is slightly better. So just going to quickly take that down. Okay, right, let me just pop some glue on here. Okie dokie. Okay, I'm just, yeah, going to pop this down. Oh, actually, I'm thinking I said that it looked better over that other piece, didn't it? So, yeah, let me just pop this under. Okay, lots of glue. like that. Okay, looking good. Okay, oops, now dragging a bow in with me. Ooh, where's that gone? Yeah. Oh, that's such a shame. Look, I've covered up that whole text, which I hadn't even noticed that I'd done that. What a wally. Yep, hadn't even noticed. You know, when I obviously selected that paper, I said, didn't I? Oh, I quite like that with the number 13. And I did say, oh, chances are I'd probably cover it up anyway. Sure enough, I have. So this is the Vintage Desk set 2, I think. This is the sewing collection papers, and these are my music toppers, by the way. And that's the Totally Dotty papers. So, yeah, looks quite pretty, doesn't it? And then this one here, I'm thinking maybe some other paper in the background there, which I wonder whether we could use this. I'll just take this down here. Oh, I don't know really whether it needs that, but let me just tear it down so I don't have the white core of the paper, because that's throwing me off a little bit. Okay, maybe there. Okay, obviously want to keep the theme going, you know, with the pink everywhere. Right, I'm just having a look to see if I've got some other pink things laying about. I've got this, it's a bit more purple really than pink, so that's, yeah, not ideal. Let me just ink this part up now. So I did say, didn't I, that it's more difficult to ink when it's lumpy. So yeah, I mean, obviously I would have ideally done this previously, but it's okay. Okay, like that. Oops. Oh, I didn't realise I had 2 pages under there, and I wonder it felt lumpy. It was, yeah, actually had two pages for under there. Just wondering what to put in the background. Let me just have a rummage through my stuff. Hold on. Okay, so I'm back. I have to say this is now several days later. Yep. So I'm kind of in a different zone now. So it will be interesting to see whether we do the same things that we were planning on doing. I've dug out some other things in similar colours, so that we can kind of like play around with, you know, some of the different colours. So I had this here like that. Now I also dug out this, again, another music topper. Obviously, you know, I don't have room to fit the whole thing in, so I don't want it half on like that, so I would tuck that right in. And I'm just thinking that then incorporates some of the pink more onto that page, so I don't mind, you know, hiding that, to be honest. And then I've just got these, which I thought, again, you know, possibly just because they're quite good colour matches. So this one's from the Umbrellas printables. And then I've got this one, which I can't actually remember what these are called, I'm afraid, but they're the little label-y type pieces. So just sort of experimenting around and seeing whether we want to have that anywhere. I mean, it might be okay without, to be honest, although it's quite cute there. I don't know. I feel like actually what I would quite like to do is have a bit of the Avery paper somewhere. Now I wonder if I've got a scrap of that anywhere. That would be really handy if I did. Of course, we've never got quite the things that we'd hope for, do we? And I've got that. This is from my pink patisserie papers. Don't know why I'm holding it here, because really that one needs more pink and that one needs more blue, really, if anything. But I did have, I did have this actually, which was, yeah, how it was kind of like positioned on the desk in the first place when I came back. So yeah, I think I was thinking of doing a flap with this. I must have been thinking of doing a flap with this, you know, when I kind of stopped filming last time. So yeah, I could do that. Should we try? Let's try just folding that round there. Okay, I might have now made that a bit wonky. I have, which is a bit annoying, but let's try and straighten that out a bit. Okay. Oh, it's really warm today. Yeah, really warm. I don't know what the weather was doing when I filmed last time. I mean, I think it was only last week that I filmed the rest of this, but yeah, the weather's taken a complete sort of U-turn to what it has been doing. So it's absolutely gorgeous now, which is wonderful, I have to say. So yeah, really kind of like chuffed to have some lovely weather, but I'm now sat here sweltering. So I've got like a summer dress on, but got a cardigan on with it, and I'm even to the point I'm so warm I might have to take my summer dress on. Off? No, not my summer dress, my cardigan. I'm not going to take my summer dress off. Imagine that, just sat here, you know, practically naked crafting. No, I'm not going to be doing that. I mean my cardigan. Take my cardigan off. Yes, I mean, talk about get carried away thinking I'm going to be taking my dress off. Right, okay, so I'm wondering about like that. Take that off. I still quite like some of this paper really on here, but I can't see any anywhere. So yeah, I might just have to kind of go for it anyway. Now, this obviously, this is a brown sort of, well, neutrally piece. So I'm wondering whether I should have a bit of sort of browny colour, just to bring in this colour onto this page. And then I'll probably have something down the edge. So whether I would have lace or whether I will have sari silk, I'm not sure, but something pink I'm thinking, which will definitely, although now there's too much pink going on there, isn't there? Oh, hold on, oh no. Oh, that's such a shame. I thought that was some turquoisey colour lace, but no. No, it's not. Oh, I do have this, but it's only this tiny little bit. I don't think I've even got any more of this. Just because, like I say, I feel like we need a bit more blue on here. Right, let's try this down here instead. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of evening up the balance slightly, isn't it? I could have that colour, actually. I'm sure I do have some of that somewhere. Well, maybe I don't. I've definitely got some somewhere. It's just not in my drawer behind me, but unless we have, you know, that gorgeous green sari silk. I don't know whether this is going to be the right colour now I'm pulling it in. It looks really weird. Oh, but I do like it. And what we could do is have some on each page, which then kind of brings the pages together. What do we think? Yeah. So I'm going to start gluing some bits down, I think. So first things first, I'm going to glue this paper down here. So this is just from my Pale Damask collection papers. Sorry, I was just quickly unclogging my glue there. So, yep, let's pop this down. There we go. Like that, and yeah, put that there. Okay, I'd forgotten that that page on the other side actually had some black on it, so somewhere in this journal I will try and incorporate a little bit more black as well, just so that, you know, I don't want it to be like just one page has black really. I'd prefer, if possible, to have some black somewhere else as well. Yeah, just totally had forgotten really that that page had the black on there. Right, so then I'm just going to ink this a little bit. And then just ink this a bit. I hate doing this when the glue's still wet, because look, we then get this really dark stuff going on. Okay, So you can have that like that. Again, it's just to bring sort of pink onto that page really. So then, yeah, I think we'll have it over like that. Like that. So I can put this on as a pocket or a belly band. So I'll do it like a belly band. Like that. Okay, pop it in quite far in. Like that. And what's quite nice is then we've got this flower sort of fully on show as well. So okay. Yep, that looks nice. And then this one, sorry, I'm just looking at my camera. I don't know whether it's a strange angle. Okay, hopefully that's a bit better. Yeah, I think we'll have this pink lace here. Oops. And then this here. Whoops. That one there. Kind of like to the side. Now, I do have these flowers, which I also just pulled in when I was unclogging my glue. So these are pretty nice colour, aren't they? Which actually, I'm thinking have one of these on here, which will tie the blue back in a little bit more. So I'm going to leave that page like that for a minute, and we'll just kind of like bring some stuff in on this page now. And you know, I've now had a bit of a sort of dislike now for the ivory colour that we used for the sheet music. So yeah, I'm going to now, I think, cover that up, because I think that's probably throwing me off and making me not like it. I wish I could find some of this. Perhaps I will have to stop the camera and just dig out some of that. Hold on. Well, that was annoying because I feel like I use the Avery papers all the time, and yet in my entire scraps envelope there wasn't any other than this little bit here. So yeah, not very big, and unfortunately it's actually kind of like from the other colour scheme, so the browns. But that might just be okay, because I might be able to just get away with having it like up there. So let's just have a look. Like that. Oops. Oh, maybe down here. Oh, that's better, isn't it? It just needed some of those flowers somewhere to sort of like have that cohesive feel, I felt. So yeah, pleased that I've dug that out. So right, let's pop that on. It just wasn't quite coming together otherwise as I wanted it to. So that's a big improvement now. So yeah, let's just pop that down there. Okay. And then this one, I do quite like this. I think it's sort of adding a little bit of that to the page as well. So I'm just going to round those corners so it's looking a bit more, you know, like finished off. Oh gosh. Wasn't intending on cutting that right the way across, but I messed up the corner. I don't know why I've started doing this whole corner rounding myself instead of using my punch. But yeah, obviously it's a mistake because I'm not very good at it. Okay. Right, there we go. So let me get rid of these bits. Okay, and just suddenly thought as I was throwing that into the bin, just in case we want to have that anywhere, so I'll keep it out for a moment. Let's just pop this down. So just gluing this here. Now I'm going to put it here so that the flap tucks under that butterfly wing, and that's just a little way of keeping it closed. So, I mean, not that it would be flying open obviously, but okay, right, let's put that there. So I think that goes a lot better now, because obviously we have got the ivory colour here that ties it in, but it looks better, doesn't it? Yeah, I much prefer it now. So it just needed that little extra help, didn't it, really? So now just check whether we want this anywhere. And then where did I say that I was going to have this? Were we having this down the side? Like that. And now I'm thinking, oh, perhaps we'll have the pink up there. So as it's, you know, balanced out. What do you think? I'm just going to tear this down. I don't really like the straight edges. Oh, it's very difficult to tear because obviously it's a titchy little piece now. Not the best planning. Right, there we go. So, yeah, we have that there. Okay, so I quite like that. So let's put this down. Lucky I didn't throw that in the bin, isn't it? I was just literally about to, and then I thought, oh, hang on a minute, we might be able to use that. I mean, no wonder we all hoard the most titchy scraps, because, you know, this is kind of like a evidence, isn't it? You know, that those tiny little scraps, they can still be quite useful. There we go. Right. So like that. Now I'm just wondering about, oh gosh, I can't even pick it up. Just wondered whether we wanted to have that on there, but, or whether actually we should have it on here to bring more of the blue onto this page. Do you know, I think that's better. Yeah, because this page then had that big pink bit, whereas that was almost looking a bit too cluttered. So I think actually here that's better, isn't it? Okay, right, let's do that. So let's glue this down. Lucky I hadn't glued the pocket on. Okay. Like that. Oops, just pop that down. Looking good. And then pop that out. Okay. Like that. And then here, I'm going to have that like that. Now, just want to check before I actually glue these pockets on. I just want to double check, because I was thinking obviously of having this, wasn't I? Which, you know, is kind of a bit of a bold choice, but I do love it. So now I don't necessarily want to cover this up now, because of course now I've put that there, it's like, oh, what was the point if I'm then going to cover it up? So what we could do is have this either at the top or the bottom. And then on this one, let's just check whether we might prefer. Oh, excuse me. Well, obviously now it's coming into hay fever season, so yeah, I do apologise for that. Let's just check. I think at the top there. And then we've just got this little flower, which, I mean, it is very pretty, isn't it? So I'd like to have that somewhere if I can. It's weird how now I've kind of switched almost. I'm now like, oh, let's put some more bluey green on this one. So yeah, we've definitely evened out the balance, because now it's coming to the point where I'm actually back putting blue on the one that was too blue in the first place. Oh, can't decide. I think what I should do is probably glue the pockets down now. So yeah, just wondering actually. Let's just check. Just check. I don't normally put sari silk at the bottom, but oh well, I do, I suppose. Yeah, what I'm saying is if it's running down the edge, I'd normally, if anything, put it halfway down the top, but we could do it like this. Now I just wonder whether we want to have this blue lace coming out here. Something more like that. Not now really convinced about that sari silk, strangely. And I do love it, but yeah, I'm not really too sure whether it's the right piece, if I'm truthful. So right piece here. So yeah, let's put that on. Oh, probably more like that, I suppose. Did we just have that straight just now? Oh, I've moved it. I'm not seeming to get it back where it was. Like that, I think. Okay, so I'm going to pop that down. So this one I'm going to glue 3 sides. Now actually, just before I do, just going to try this with the sari silk tied round. I know it's held shut by that butterfly wing anyway, so it doesn't really need a closure, but I'm just thinking, would this be a way to tie that sari silk in? Just have to cut it down just for... Right, so if we had that there, and then we had some here, I'm just kind of thinking, is that then a way of bringing the sari silk in on both sides? So yeah. Oh yes, I love that. So right, decided, let's take this, put it so it's more even. Okay, it is quite thick. Perhaps I should tear this down in half. Sometimes the sari silk's very thick, and I find, and this is where I'll look like a liar because it won't work, but oh, it is, thank goodness. Sometimes you can tear it in half like we have done here. Sometimes I have to say it doesn't work, and then it just kind of like shreds off, you know, at every couple of minutes or every couple of centimeters. It will just shred off and not actually tear evenly, but this time it did. So okay, just because I thought, well, actually it's probably a little bit too wide for the piece, so I'm going to now glue the back of that sari silk down. Oops. Oh, come on, come on. Sorry, just struggling. There we go. Right, so just going to glue that down. I'm just going to glue it with the hot glue. It's nice and quick. And I know then that it's stuck down like that. Okay. Love how that looks. And then this I'm going to just pop here quite close to this edge, because I'm going to have it as a pocket on this side, just so that if I want to have anything more here, I'm not kind of in the way too much. Yeah. So I'm going to just glue it with the hot glue so it's, you know, straight away glued down. I'm not having to press it or weigh it down with anything. So like that. And over there. Okay. Yep, looking gorgeous. Okay, yeah, I do really like how that looks. And then this one, so it's kind of opposite page, we are going to have the pink lace here, and then I'm going to have the sari silk just like halfway down. So I'm going to glue the pink lace on first. I mean, I will probably try and sort of put the pocket on the pink lace as well, but you know, this is just a precautionary measure, just in case my pocket's not quite on top of it. There we go. And then this pocket, I'm going to have, I think again, probably this side, because obviously we've got a few different things. We've got this here as the belly band, so I don't want to kind of do anything that's going to, like, you know, restrict movement there. But also I don't really like having things going in and out when they're going in and out over the lace, because it can sort of act to pull the lace up, you know, off and unstabilize the lace. So unstabilize the lace, that was a strange way to put that, wasn't it? Yes, it will just cause the lace to peel up. Right, let me just move my hand a bit so that I can check that I'm going over that and haven't got just a little bit of black musical instrument poking out there. There we go. Okay, so yeah, that's really cute, isn't it? And then I can just have a little bit of the sari silk now just ruffled down on this edge. So okay, we've got a very wide bit of sari silk here, but hopefully that would just look awesome. So there. Okay, looking good. Right. Okay, and then we'll just snip this out here like that. Okay, is that glued down properly? Let me just check. Yep, it's just a little touch more glue just to really make sure it's glued down. Okay. So that's those 2 pages. I might obviously put more things on them, you know, once I go back through the journal, once it's all kind of put together. I might think, oh, it needs a few more finishing touches, and then add some more things. Oh, I might have to put this little flower somewhere because I do really, really like how that looks. Problem is where to put it. There. I quite like it sort of just here-ish really, but don't want it in the way of obviously, you know, where we're going to punch the pages to go on the rings, but let's just put this here. More of that whole going full circle, aren't we? You know, sort of adding the bluey green colours to there, but yeah. So that's that little double page spread. So yeah, I really hope that you like the couple of pages that we have done. You know, that's kind of just some ideas there for if you followed along with the Mojo Mix-Up series that we did, where we made all of those, you know, I think it was something crazy, like 25 pages or whatever. If you followed along, hopefully this is just giving you some examples of then how you would pull it together to complete an entire journal. So yeah, might come along and do some more pages with you guys, but you know, we talk about this all the time. Not everybody likes to see all the stages, and then it just messes with the algorithm. So I'll have to kind of like, yeah, decide whether to do that or not. But yeah, hope this has given you some inspiration. I hope it can kind of like demonstrate a bit how you can make your pages work. If you didn't join in with the series, maybe you'll go back now and kind of decide to make some pages, you know, or just save them for a day where you're just, you know, missing a bit of your crafty mojo and wondering what to do. Then hopefully this is kind of just demonstrating how you would then get those pages to pull together. So let me know below what you think. Yep, did I make the right decision with the sari silk, or do you think that's like a step too far? Let me know. And yeah, hope that you've enjoyed the video. Really appreciate a big thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate your subscribing. And yeah, thank you so much, and I will watch you in the next video. Thanks then. Bye.